Welcome to Mukesh Manoharan Studio. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon before we proceed. I want you to just picture yourself sitting in a quiet, dimly lit room. The chaos of the day has finally settled down, right? And all that's left is that steady, unrelenting tick of a clock on the wall. Every single tick is a second, a fleeting moment of time. It's the one currency in this universe that, once spent, you can literally never earn back. We're all born as the architects of our own lives. We're meant to gather up experiences and skills like heavy stones to build our futures. But there's this profound, silent shift happening right now. So many of us are unknowingly giving away the exact bricks we need to build our foundation, just handing them over to those glowing screens illuminating our faces in the dark.
Think about it. How many times have you collapsed onto the couch, exhaled all that exhaustion from the day, and picked up your phone with what seems like a completely innocent intention? You tell yourself, I'm just going to check one quick video. Just a tiny moment of relief. You tap the glass, the screen flares to life, and then this hypnotic pull takes over. The entire world around you just fades into a blur. You don't feel the chill in the air, you stop hearing the hum of the refrigerator, and suddenly you blink, the trance breaks, and you realize, wait, have 30 minutes gone by? An hour? Maybe even 2 hours have simply vanished into thin air? You honestly planned for one short video, but one became another and then another, pulling you down a current of hundreds of fleeting images you won't even remember when you wake up tomorrow. As we really pull back the curtain on this vanishing time, we absolutely have to understand something vital. That little piece of glass and metal resting in your palm, it isn't the villain of this story. The device itself is completely neutral. The real conflict, the invisible war that's raging around us every single day, is the battle for our attention. Our attention is literally the most valuable resource on the planet, and there are incredibly sophisticated systems designed by some of the brightest minds in the world working tirelessly with one singular goal: keeping your eyes locked on that screen. It's a quiet, invisible theft, stealing away moments that were meant for your own life.
You end up caught in this endless, sensory loop of the swipe. Every movement of your thumb delivers this tiny, perfectly engineered dopamine reward straight to your brain. It's a burst of funny content that makes you smile, or a flash of intense motivation that makes you feel incredibly productive without actually doing a single thing. Entertainment, breaking news, celebrity gossip, it is exactly like a slot machine for your emotions. With every single swipe, your brain is just constantly whispering in the background, just one more. We're constantly searching for that next digital reward, completely unaware that this one more is quietly, systematically siphoning away hours from our future.
And as we venture deeper into understanding this, by the way, if you're finding yourself reflecting on your own journey through this explainer, please take a quick moment to subscribe, like, and share the channel so we can keep unearthing these vital insights together. We realize what we're dealing with isn't just a simple distraction. It isn't a lack of personal discipline. It's a brilliantly designed trap. These algorithms, they don't sleep. They learn exactly what makes you linger, what makes you laugh, what makes you angry, and they feed it right back to you in an endless, perfectly tailored stream. The stakes are so much higher than we realize. We aren't just losing minutes here, we are losing the raw material of our potential.
Which brings us to a number that carries a pretty devastating emotional weight: 730. If you surrender just 2 hours of your day to the endless scroll, just 2 hours lost in that hypnotic rhythm of the feed, that compounds into 730 stolen hours every single year. Just let that sink into your mind for a second. That is more than 30 full days, an entire month of waking life, just gone, evaporated into the digital ether, time that you will never ever get back.
But now, imagine the magnificent alternative. Imagine standing in a completely different reality where those 730 hours were returned to you. Paint a really vivid, hopeful picture in your mind right now. What could you construct with an extra month every single year? Those 730 hours could be poured into mastering a complex new skill, speaking a foreign language with complete fluency, or building the foundation of a business you've only ever dreamed of. You could spend them strengthening your body, exercising, reading profound books, or simply crafting a deeply connected, beautiful life with the people you love. The difference between where you are and where you could be is so often hidden right inside those stolen hours.
So how do we get from realization to actual empowerment? Well, it requires a massive shift in how we approach the battlefield. Willpower alone is incredibly fragile, you know? If you rely solely on your mind to resist a system that's literally designed to break your resistance, you're eventually going to tire it out and surrender. Instead of just fighting the urge, you have to change the terrain itself. You need to become the active architect of your physical surroundings, building a fortress where distractions simply cannot reach you.
It's time to step into the role of the protagonist, taking back control of their space.
And honestly, the tactical steps are deeply satisfying. First, you silence the noise. You turn off every unnecessary notification so your phone only speaks when it's spoken to. Then you clear away all that visual clutter. Remove those distracting apps right off your home screen, forcing yourself to actively search for them if you truly want them. And most powerfully, you create physical distance. When you sit down to work, to study, or to create, that piece of glass goes in another room, out of sight, out of mind. You make access to the distraction profoundly difficult, completely starving the habit of its oxygen. Once your physical environment is secured, a deeper, more internal shift really has to take place. This is the quiet revolution of the mind that happens before the screen ever even lights up. It's the absolute mastery of intention, the act of reclaiming your agency in a world that desperately wants you to remain passive.
I want you to imagine holding your phone, right now, with your thumb hovering just above the glass. In that split second of silence before action, I want you to just pause. Demand a clear, unwavering answer from yourself. Ask the single most important question. Why am I opening this? If the answer is vague, if it's just born out of boredom or a little anxiety, if you can't articulate a genuine, real purpose, don't open it. Put the phone down. Reclaim that moment for yourself.
Because you are standing at a stark, defining crossroads. On one side, there's a life where you control your intention. You open a tool to find a specific piece of information, to connect with a specific person, to actively construct your reality. You are the active architect. But on the other side, that's a life where the algorithm controls your attention. You just drift endlessly in a digital sea, acting as a passive consumer fed a diet of fleeting entertainment, while your time is harvested for someone else's gain. The difference between these two paths is the absolute difference between living a life of true purpose and living a life of regret. You see, the human brain is a remarkable engine, but it operates on a very deep biological truth. It absolutely does not need constant flashing entertainment. What it actually starves for is meaningful stimulation. When you forcefully close the door on empty scrolling, you can't just leave a void. You have to invite something beautiful in its place. Let your mind breathe through the quiet rhythm of reading 10 pages of a timeless book. Let it find peace in a long walk without headphones. Let it stretch by practicing a tangible skill or by simply looking into the eyes of your family and truly, deeply listening. And if these ideas resonate with you, make sure to subscribe and share this with someone whose time is precious to you. Real change, the kind that actually alters the entire trajectory of a human life, is not some overnight magic trick. It is a slow, methodical, compounding build. You don't just wake up one morning completely transformed, right? You build your future one deliberate, focused block at a time. It begins with the physical feeling of a strengthening mind. Start small, with grace and determination. Step 1 is a simple promise to yourself. Just 30 minutes of unbroken focus. The phone is locked away in a drawer. You choose one important task and you sit with it in the quiet. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first, like a muscle you haven't used in years. But after a week, that resistance fades. Then you graduate to step 2, 45 minutes of deep immersion. And eventually, step 3, a full, glorious hour of unshakable focus. You will physically feel your capacity for deep, meaningful work expanding.
Because the stark reality is this: the person you desperately want to become 5 years from now, they are standing there waiting, and their existence is entirely dependent on the choices you make right now, today. Do you want to inhabit a healthier, stronger body? That architecture begins today. Do you dream of a more fulfilling career? The learning has to commence today. Are you seeking the quiet peace of financial freedom? The skills required for that life absolutely must be sharpened today. You can't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is the one you are currently letting slip through your fingers.
And as you build all of this, you really have to protect your mind from the grand illusion. Let this profound truth settle deeply within you. Social media is a theater of fake, curated highlights. It's a museum of moments that never truly existed in the way they're presented, while you are standing backstage, living the messy, complex, unedited reality of your own behind the scenes. Your journey, your beautiful, difficult, climbing journey, does not need to look impressive on a glowing screen to strangers you will literally never meet. It only needs to be deeply, quietly meaningful in real life.
So the very next time you find yourself caught in that invisible current, endlessly scrolling through the void, I want you to stop. Breathe in the reality of the room around you. Look at the device in your hand and ask yourself one lingering, transformative thought. Is this helping the future version of me or stealing time from him? The answer to that single question holds the power to change the entire trajectory of your existence. Your future isn't waiting for you somewhere inside that screen. It's out here, waiting for you to take action. Thank you so much for staying with me through this journey. May you build a future that is truly your own.